Hi book lovers, my name is Christina and welcome back to Cozy Novel Niche. Today I'm here with my second review of the year. This is a book that I read in January. This again was a 5-star rating for me, which means just that it was a favorite. This is something that I will reread in the future. I will reference it back, get back to it for sure. And if I will be able, I definitely will buy a physical copy of this book for me because I listened to this book on Storytel in the audio format. And the book I'm speaking about is Twisted. The subtitle is The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture by Emma Dabiri. This book, I loved it. I loved it so much. It gave me so much information, both something that I was expecting and something that I wasn't expecting. This book is a non-fiction book written by a Black author who speaks about her experience, and starting from her experience, she kind of weaves into the book a lot of other topics that are so important and give you such a big picture. So let's start with the main topic of the book. Of course, being called that way, this book starts with hair. That's something that we all have. This piece of us has such a different meaning to each and every of our cultures, families, religions and whatnot. So this is something that we value so much in different ways in different parts of the world. It has such a deep meaning. It means, for some it means roots, connections, for some it means community, for some it means beauty, for some it means just the power of your ancestors or your own personal power. It means freedom. It means being unconservative. It means so many different things. So this is something that we own, that we have, but it also something that sometimes can define us, or it is something that we decide to use not to be defined. It has so many meanings, and it's just amazing in itself that simply hair can start such a huge discussion. But in this case, we're speaking about a Black author speaking about her hair, and specifically the way in which we treat hair, or better than we treat, we discuss about and we judge and we think that we somehow own, in a very perverse way, Black people's hair. I think that the author really perfectly nailed the starting point of her book. So she starts with her story, how she perceived her hair at the beginning of her life and how her relationship with her hair shifted throughout the years, and how she decided to own her hair and finally find her way to just express herself throughout her hair. This is something that a lot of us don't really bother to think about too much, because for a lot of us hair is simply hair, but for a lot of other people in the world, hair really means much more than that. And so the book starts from this point, and then it goes through a whole journey. It adds in how people perceive hair according to who is using a hairstyle compared to someone else. So for example, she brings the case of the Kardashians using some of the distinctive Black culture hairstyles and what it means and what it doesn't mean, and how someone perceives it and how someone else perceives it, for example. But then it goes from there, and the book goes so beyond hair. It deals with culture, it deals with history, it deals with cultural heritage. I learned so much, for example, about Yoruba culture, about which I knew nothing about, and I knew that culture existed, but I never actually delved into it. So now I know a little bit more, and I know that I want to learn so much more about it, because it has such a fascinating and beautiful just depth to it, and I want to learn, definitely want to learn more. Then we go through a whole journey about how we kind of Western people perceive black hair, and how much time it took for the black community to finally start and destigmatize, is it a word? Destigmatize, yeah. Their natural hair, because they felt the need to kind of adapt to what we perceived as beautiful, and how that impacted so many lives and what it meant. And it goes through the history of slavery and what hair meant to the slaves, and how people were treated because of their hair, and the horrible things that people done to other people's hair just because of so many twisted and horrible reasons. And some parts were really gut-wrenching and heart-wrenching. So this book starts from here, but if you think that it's only about that, it's not only about that. It's so much more, and this is both a plus and a minus for this book, because I went into this book without no expectations whatsoever, and I loved all the ways the book moved around. For someone, it can be a little bit maybe unfocused, because you think that you have a book only about one topic, but then it goes and just kind of the roots go everywhere. But it makes sense for me, because hair is just the outside representation of something that's more layered and more deep and historical and cultural and religious, and so on and so on and so on. So I know that I used the word hair so many times in this video that probably it lost its meaning at this point to you, but definitely give a try to this non-fiction book. I think that it's beautiful. I loved the writing style of the author. It was very easy to understand. I loved listening to the author narrating this book. Again, so easy to listen to and to connect with the author too. Overall, I think that it's a great piece of non-fiction. I now know so much more, and this book's done something that I really love, when a book piques your curiosity so that you search more, and this is something that it definitely done for me. So now I will be searching for more. And so to wrap everything up, I just would love to say that I love the concept. I definitely think that it was a clever one. It was executed beautifully, in my opinion. It made me think, so I love when a book makes me think. And it was overall a very great experience listening to this book. I was waiting for the moments when I was able to listen to it, so this tells a lot to me. So yeah, if you're curious about this topic, or if you don't know a lot about this topic, or if you even know a lot about this topic but you want to listen to a different voice, this is a book that I would definitely recommend. It was an amazing experience reading it. That's the reason why I rated it 5 stars at the end of the day. So if you've read it, please let me know down below, or if it's something new to you and you're curious, again, let me know. And meanwhile, cozy up with a great book, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Ciao!